Okay, hi everyone. Welcome to round 2. We're playing against Clone 103. They have mulliganed to 6 cards. We are on the draw. I'm not keeping this hand. I have a suspicion of what my opponent is playing, due to playing these a lot. This hand has 3 Forcibles, and I think they play Tin Fins. However, I have 0 land, and they might have changed it, so I'm not keeping that. Well, this hand is, it's fine. I've got a land, I'm on the draw, and there's a counterbalance. I'm keeping this, obviously. So yeah, the plan is to play Volcanic Island, and play Sensei Divine Top, I guess. Oh, but we're looking for a second land, right? So Ponder sees more cards. So I suspect that I will play Ponder, but we'll see when we get there. Yep, Underground Sea Ponder. I mean, it's pretty similar to last time. They could be on the Dark Ritual combo deck, but I have a suspicion that my opponent plays Tin Fins Return of the Onion Burst, which is, for those who are not in the know, one of the coolest decks around, where you get to reanimate Grizzlebrand on turn 1 occasionally. Well, not occasionally, quite a lot, I guess. And often also Emrakul on turn 1. Or just hardcast Emrakul. I'm doing some boring things, pondering and getting a land, but it's pretty obvious that I wanted land and I wanted to cast a cantrip, so, Oh, I also left a top on top of my deck, so now I can play the Volcanic Island, play Counterbalance, and if my opponent chooses to play a 1-mana spell, oh look, in 2, then I can counter it. The 1-mana spell I'm particularly concerned about next turn is Dark Ritual from this deck. Yeah, Grizzlebrand's in the graveyard. I would much rather have a 2-mana spell on top, and hopefully we can find one of those with our Sensei's Top next turn, or a Brainstorm to put Snapcaster Mage back on top of our deck, because the key reanimation spells from Tin Fins, which is what I believe my opponent's playing, cost 2 mana. So is our opponent playing a spell for 1 mana? They have 1 mana in their pool. They are allowed to... Ooh. Yeah, alright, sweet. So we're going to counter this with our top. So lucky. We didn't know that was there, did we? No. Yeah, and now they're going to play Shadow Grip. Alright, well we can't counter this. So our opponent's going to have some fun. Big Riz is in play. So this isn't the worst for us. So they can draw a lot of cards. Counterbalance counters their spells, right? Like, I can counter 7-8 spells with Counterbalance. So it's like we do have a way of negating all this card advantage. And we have ways of removing enormous threats. I mean, this one isn't going to stick around all turn, but they might try and reanimate something in the normal fashion. And that's kind of okay. And as far as I understand it, the Tin Fins deck doesn't play an answer to Counterbalance in the main deck. So as long as they don't, I guess if they want to continue comboing, they have to keep casting. They have to cast Dark Rituals, and we have a 1 on top of our deck. So I don't think they can. Well, they can. No, they can't reanimate Emrakul because they need to cast a 1-mana spell, either a piece of discard to their hand or an entomb, before they can cast one of their 2-mana spells. The other way they could win is with a Tendrils of Agony, but for that they need to find 4 mana. So they need to assemble 4 mana worth of Petals and Chrome Moxen and a Tendrils of Agony to do that. I think it's pretty unlikely that they can. Sure, they have 22 cards in their hand, but drawing specifically Tendrils, the 1 card from your deck, and then a specific combination of cards which you max run 6 of and you need 4 of. I don't think it's likely that that is what they have in hand, so I don't feel awful, but we'll have to wait and see. The interesting part about playing against Tin Fins is post-sideboard, often you will see a plan with Monastery Mentor, and that makes sideboarding a little tricky, but we'll get to that when we come to it. Okay, so they're not going off this turn, and I feel reasonably comfortable now about beating them with just Counterbalance and Sensei Divine Top. As long as we find reasonable spells to reveal with a Counterbalance, I'm pretty sure we can win. I've played this matchup from Tinpin's side a few times, and Counterbalance is horrendous to deal with. Like, potentially the worst card. You just can't beat it game one. And it's quite difficult post-board with most setups. You play things like Serenity in the sideboard. More mid-range sort of transformational plans might want to play a Disenchant instead. But yeah. Okay. Grizzlebrand, Grizzlebrand, Grizzlebrand. Brainstorm. Okay. I mean, some packages also play Stoneforge Mystic, and Stoneforge Mystic plus Serenity is a little awkward. But, we'll see. Verdant Catacombs. That's weird. So I would expect my opponent's deck to be splashing white. Catacombs, I mean, might just be the black fetch of choice, and they're just playing all black dual lands and not Tundras. Might just be playing scrublands, but that is weird. Maybe they're not playing the Mentor plan out of the board. They might be playing some sort of reactive plan with decays, like you would expect out of Ad Nauseam Tendrils. Okay. No, they discarded a Goya's Vengeance. I'm surprised by that. I would expect their hand to be all Goya's Vengeances, because they know that we have a top. We revealed it last time. And so they will not be able to cast 1-mana spells, or it's likely. And so I would expect them to just be trying to jam Vengeances into our counterparts. It might be that they just drew 8, but it's unlikely. I mean, I think the standard is 3 Vengeance and 4 Shadowgrave, so I'm not sure what else they'd keep. Yeah, like, why would you keep this? It's very unlikely this is going to resolve. There we are. So I'm going to spin top and see what's on top. Our opponent is thinking, so they might want to respond to the top activation, but I don't think we know any of the cards on top of our deck, and they're probably working that out. So they are random. So if we fetched, it would also be random. Oh, okay. Brainstorm is pretty nice. So whilst we can counter the Dark Ritual with the Brainstorm. In fact, this is the perfect card. So we counter the Dark Ritual with the Brainstorm, and then if they go for a Goyo's Vengeance effect or a Shadowgrave, we can flip top into Brainstorm back Snapcaster Mage, and counter that as well. I'm not too fussed about this top because we obviously have 2 more, but I might shuffle away the second top depending on what we brainstorm into. So this, yeah, brainstorm's pretty nutty draw here. Yeah, that works. Okay, let's go ahead with that then. So we'll counter the Dark Ritual. So now they're probably thinking about casting the reanimation effect, which we can also counter conveniently. And they can't respond to the top with Ritual Vengeance because we have a 1 on top. So I'm pretty sure they're locked at this point. Nice, and we found a Forcible, which is pretty sweet. So I can put back top and mage. We can keep the second mage for Forcible if we need it, but I doubt we will. Then we can draw mage, fetch, or we can leave the top on top, I guess, and just play mentor. And we could also be more conservative. I suppose it's probably best to be more conservative and just play the land and pass with Snapcaster Brainstorm up. So we can brainstorm back the second Snapcaster to the top of our deck. But, yeah. Yeah, we can still do this with 3 mana though. So it's no biggie. Okay, our opponent's scooping to that. Cool. Let's move on to sideboarding. So as I said earlier, this is the trickier part of the matchup. They often have an odd sort of sideboard, but obviously I'm going to bring in the classic cards that beat combo. So Cleek, Flusterstorm, and Surgical are very good here, and the Containment Priest is obviously excellent. If we get to get it into play, they can't combo off through it. I do like some number of Pyroblasts, maybe 1 or 2. The Terminuses are interesting. So if they have Mentors, Terminus is like kind of necessary to make that not a really hard to defeat threat. So I'm trying to work out how many Terminus I want. Explosive seems pretty mediocre. I'm going to take out some number of Mentors, like in the case of Ant. We want to be more threat light when we're dealing with these fast combo decks. I'll shave, a Terminus, maybe a second one. We'll see. This is interesting. I do still want some Pyroblasts. I don't like these explosives though. And I guess Plow is useful. I mean, so it's really difficult to know what their sideboard plan is. They could be playing Dark Confidant. Like, this is one of the main strengths of Tim Finns, in my opinion, is that when you're playing against it, you just don't know what they're going to do after board. And you might just have a bunch of cards that don't do anything. I think having Pyroblast to counter Brainstorm is still pretty great. But they are heavier on the black deck than... I don't know. They're heavier on black than Ant. But I think this is reasonable. 1 Pyroblast. Yeah, 1 Pyroblast, 2 Pyros, 2 Terminus. I think this is a good all-round deck against them. We'll see how it goes. This is the moment of truth, because this is all a bit on the fly. Okay, well, this sounds pretty good. I've got a extraction, I've got a force, I have a fetch and a ponder. We have a terminus in case we need it. We'll obviously have to find a brainstorm first, but that's nice. If we really need terminus, we have access to that. We have a counterspell and a clique to sort of go long and finish off the game. So I'm happy with this hand. Underground Sea. Fitting Needle. Okay, so it's probably going to name Sensei's Divining Top. They might also name Arid Mesa if they've got the Soul Read on our played 0 cards. Chose to keep 7, but I'm guessing they'll name Top. Yeah. Okay. And that's quite fortunate for us that we don't have Top in our opener. If that Ponder was a top, I probably still would have kept on the draw. But there we are. So it goes. So yes, I'm going to look for our land. Hopefully we find, again, a land and a spell we can place on top to play counterbalance next turn with. We'll see this. Okay, well we found Strand, top, extraction. So I'm going to keep... So I want to keep the second extraction on top of my deck so they can't therapy both of them at the same time. I want to keep the land, and I don't want top because they have Pithy Needle. But I'm going to have to shuffle top away to play counterbalance. So that's fine, I just can't keep a 1 on top for sure. Which would be nice to know. But there we are. So I'm going to draw Strand, draw Extraction, play counterbalance. Yeah, there's the verdant catacombs again. I'm a bit dubious of. I am not going to force a will brainstorm. So we have answers to a quick combo, which is nice. Okay, they're fetching. That's fine. And I'm not really sure what I'm expecting here. They may just go dark ritual, therapy, etc. Entomb reanimate or entomb Goya's vengeance or whatever. Their draws vary quite a lot. There's quite a lot of. You need exactly the right combination of cards to go off quite a lot of the time. Okay, so they are actually playing green, which is unexpected, so I'm assuming they're playing Decay. And Death Shaman called a Mirror. Yeah. No, I don't think that's true, but it would be interesting. Also terrible. Yeah. Okay, cool. So, I think we're lagging a bit here. I'm not sure what's going on. Alright, so we're going to play this Strand. And I'll fetch and play Counterbalance, I guess? Yeah, let's just do that. We have Forcible and Surgical Extraction, so I feel reasonably safe tapping out the Counterbalance. We have one Pyroblast in our deck. I'm just checking to see I have Tundra in play. I don't want to accidentally fetch the wrong dual land, despite knowing in my mind that I have Tundra in play. I don't get punished for checking, so may as well. So we play Counterbalance and pass the turn. So we have 3 0 mana, essentially, interactive spells, which is nice. If they are still on Mentor, which I doubt. Lotus Battle? Okay. Do I want to reveal the card? So I could just try and bait out a better card, but here I feel that mana is so important in their deck for when they're going off that countering their Lotus Battle is actually sort of reasonable. If we have the opportunity to. And then just not going to go off if we don't. If we reveal something else that's not 0. If we reveal a 1 or a 2, they can't go off anyway. So they'll just stop. I think it's probably correct to try and counter the Lotus Battle. Yes, I would like to. Okay. You can see the lag there. Brainstorm. Okay, so Lotus Battle's going to resolve, but they can't play any rituals or cantrips this turn. That's fine. That's a real hamper on that deck, I would guess. And now we have Brainstorm, so we can Brainstorm back our Counterspell or our Clique to counter a Mental, which I'm still quite afraid of, but we can Brainstorm back Counterspell to counter Goya's Vengeance and whatnot, so it's pretty good. I'm not going to Brainstorm this turn, but I might next turn to try and find a land, depending on what we reveal. Okay, so they're just passing the turn. So they don't feel like they can go off into 7 cards plus blind Counterbalance. I guess they know we have Brainstorm. Yeah, that's true, they knew that. Okay, Flusterstorm. So that makes me digging for a land even more comfortable. I feel more comfortable about that because I am tapping out of Counterspell to Brainstorm here. Okay, I found a land anyway. But yeah, if I had the Flusterstorm, then I would still have some interaction point. I don't really want a 4th land. So I'm going to put one of these back, and then I'll have a fetch. All the cards in my hand are really good. The only interaction that I need 4 mana for really is Snapcast to Counterspell, which might not happen. Ponder. So I'm going to fetch, try and blind counter that. I can't Flusterstorm it, unless I make Surgical something in response, which I don't think is worthwhile, so I'm not going to do that. Yeah, let's just get a Tundra and try and blind counter Ponder. Force of Will. Okay, so our opponent is actually sort of reasonably safe to try and go off through counterbalance here. In terms of counterbalance isn't going to counter anything from their deck this turn. But I'm not really worried with all this stuff. If we really wanted to shuffle our deck, we could surgical our Arid Maces or something. But yeah, that's really not relevant. Okay, so our opponent's taking the opportunity to play Lotus Petal when they can, which is fine. I'm just going to draw this Force and pass, holding up Clique, I guess. Well, if I Snapcast a... well, I can Snapcast a Ponder and set up my cannons. Yeah, okay. Let's do that. So I want to find a land here. It's close. I think holding up Clique might be safer, but I guess if I did that, then I would have to discard. Yeah. We didn't find a land, so I'm going to shuffle these away. We drew Terminus. Okay, so I'm just going to discard Terminus and pass the turn. We have so much interaction at 0 mana that it's not terrible for us to tap out here. Okay, so we found the land that we wanted. And now we have good old pressure in play. Snapcaster Mage getting in there. And we have a hand full of gas and a counterbalance on board. So I think we're probably set. It would have to be a very specific set of cards that my opponent has to beat this. And we might just get to counter things for free. As a third Force of Will. Okay, that's fine. I don't even know how much I want that. Like, if my opponent plays another 1 mana spell, I probably just fetch and try and counter it. We have so much in hand that if we draw a Force of Will, we have to discard anyway. I don't actually really want that. Though I suppose I'm playing Clique on the turn. Yes, we wouldn't have to discard. I am speaking lots of nonsense. We're definitely playing something this time, so maybe it's fine. So our opponent's going to cast Ritual somehow? That's what black indicates to me. Yeah, dark Ritual. Okay. I'm just going to try and counter this for free, I think. Yeah. I probably shouldn't have fetched Bolt there, but whatever. Okay, well, it's a skill game. Counterbalance was going to counter something blind at some point today, so pretty reasonable. Yeah, this isn't particularly interesting. I mean, it's unlikely our opponent's going to get out of this. Like every card we have interacts with them. Okay, let's just click them and see what they've got. And I'm interested to see what green cards they have in their deck. They might have something like City of Solitude, which just destroys what I'm doing, I guess. But like, if they just played, I don't know, I could just counter the city, I guess, at this point. But in some games, like City of Solitude's beating. Okay, they just conceded. Alright, on to round 3.